So today I'm going to build two smaller sets just for more warm-ups. The first set doesn't seem to have a name, but I'd call it Haunted Hayride. As you can see, looks like a Halloween set that I picked up. Little mummy guy, skeleton, unknown kind of skeletal dress girl. And today I also decided to bring a few tools. You got the brick separator, which is a classic, could come in handy. I use this X-Acto knife just to help me open boxes without damaging them. And that way I can save the box just for the collector and me. And so the Haunted Hayride is set 40423. And looks like we have some stickers, which I guess we would, which is why I bought my tweezers. They can help you if your hands aren't too steady. They help apply stickers a lot more evenly. Haunted Hayride comes with a couple bags. There's three of them, but they don't seem to be numbered. So probably have to just open all those up and sort them. And this, unlike yesterday, has a booklet that's not folded, but more like a book. So let me just cut open this other part of it. And then, of course, I'm older. If you're young, like a little kid, you might want to get your parents, if you're going to use an X-Acto knife, get your parents to use the X-Acto knife for you. Or maybe you have something a little safer that you're not going to poke yourself or cut yourself with to open boxes. And let's get on with the build. So now that there's an okay number of pieces, once again, this set only has 148 pieces. So it's not like a giant set, but there's enough pieces that you're going to want to organize the pieces a little bit or spread them out so you can find pieces easier. Dump pieces over here. And I guarantee the first set's going to be to build at least one of the minifigures. So let's see. First we got the guy and the girl. He's gonna have that pumpkin, pumpkin head. The guy's head. Here's the guy's body. He's dressed up as a little mummy. So this is the girl's face. Looks like she has a scared face and a happy face. Leave her with the scared face because it's Halloween, I guess. So, and this is how you can tell that it's like a Lego kid. They have legs that won't bend. So, this girl is a little kid. Let's just separate the mummy thing. Now she has her hair. She is scared over there. Mummy part. Or no, these are skeleton parts. Skeleton's a very classic minifig. They look the same since when I was a little kid. Here's the guy's legs. As you can see, adult minifigs can bend their legs. Put on his hat. I don't know. Oh, this goes into her hand. It's a pretty detailed pumpkin. It's been cut out. Let's see. Next step. Doesn't say to build the skeleton yet, but I feel like it's safe to do so. Aim back and forth. Oh, skeleton is built. Let's just set him alongside the others. Oh, she doesn't want to lay down. Hmm. Pumpkin's a little messing with her. or weight balance. All right. So here we go. First step, and the thing you'll see is during the holidays, Lego will always release like little sets like this. There's ones for Easter, Halloween, Christmas, sometimes like 4th of July. They have other ones that are like wedding based and things are culturally based, like the other set I'm gonna do today is the tuk tuk. I'm not quite sure if that's the correct way to pronounce it, but you'll see a lot of these in like Southeast Asia, where they're kind of usually used for taxis or something like that. And then, so, I mean, these sets are small, but they're another one of those things that are great for like atmosphere if you're building a Lego city, or if you just want like a small set that you're buying for as a gift for a kid, because even though they're small, they have a lot of little playability. And of course, I mean, I'm sure every kid wants the bigger set, but it's not always possible, or you don't have room for it, or for whatever reason, just get the smaller set. And anyway, I will keep going. And I don't know if there's something to talk about. I will, but you know, when nobody's here, it's just kind of like talking to myself. So, what's nice about these sets here is you'll see all the pieces you need for the step. So, it's not quite in frame still. One, two, three. I mean, sure, it's not too complex, but I know some people like to gather the pieces, like they just gather the brown piece and the red piece one by one. But when they have a grouping of pieces like that, I like to grab all the pieces at once just so I can keep track of what I need. And this one's useful sometimes, like in a set like this, not too important because you only have like one size of these gray pieces, but they show you what it is. And then in a large set, you can match up the different sizes to ensure that you haven't accidentally grabbed a size too large. All right, so it's like the red one in, connect. One's very simple, just creating some type of pull. I've basically forgotten the shape of what I was building. I know it's a hayride, so there's a cart, and I think this archway, but okay. So one thing I've noticed is it's kind of hard to get good lighting on a white background, especially like make a scene look interesting because all you're all the audience gets to see is white in whatever is being built on top of it. So kind of think I've seen like creator boxes where if I built an entire box and you get like matte paper, so there's no shine from the bottom. Like this is a smart table that I usually use to do work on, and it has a glass bottom, so it's shining extra light and kind of makes things look no, a little dull or uninteresting. Now I can't find piece, the little brown piece. I feel like I should pull Dora the Explorer. Do you see the piece I'm looking for? This piece. All these pieces have names and numbers too, but I guarantee you I do not remember them. I think if I look at the back of this, like at least the bigger sets, they have a list of all the pieces. Yeah. So like the three piece, one by Black. There's four of them, and that is piece number 3623326. And that seems like kind of irrelevant information, but if you ever are missing a piece from a set, you can call up Lego and they will replace that piece. They'll send you out a new piece. At least in the United States, they will. And they do it free of cost. And it doesn't actually matter too much how many pieces are missing. For instance, I was missing basically an entire bag of pieces from the Taj Mahal, or was it like two bags? Like basically one of the numbers was missing, and they sent out all the things we needed to finish that build and for free. And then if they aren't missing, if you just happen to want more like pieces like this, there's a website called Bricklink, and people do sells and resells of items there, and you can look for specific pieces that you need and buy them there. And I mean, I think that is used in large part for by people who want like what is the word be? They're they're big creations. They're big mock I am creation people. And people build like Wonder Woman or amazing things. And they use that site to help them get pieces. Although I think if you need a lot of pieces, it's best to be going to the Lego store sometimes or where they sell like bricks by the cup. Or you can go to like garage sales and stuff and buy people's old pieces. It's pretty effective. And I mean, depending on how much you're into things, you will have a lot of pieces. I've seen people have basically rooms full of their storage for extra pieces. All right. And here we're going to put on the pumpkin face. So you can see looks like that. I feel like sometimes the stickers are easier to put on the piece before you place it on. I feel like this piece will be easier to hold. And of course, you don't have to have everything perfectly straight. I like to not have too much inconsistency. And the tweezers help. Now, I mean, that looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. And I think from a distance, people can't really tell. And I mean, if you ever find yourself making the same thing or making anything really, you'll notice the flaws in the things you make a lot more than other people will. So you just kind of have to understand that everybody makes mistakes, everybody makes errors. And when you make those errors, if you can fix it a little, do that, but making mistakes is just kind of part of the learning process. And as you go along, you will get a little better at it each time. And maybe you'll never be perfect, but that's all part of being human. So if you're doing these Lego stickers and it's kind of messed up, that's okay. Or really, if you're learning any skill, any art, any craft, don't worry about it not being perfect. Just doing it is kind of the journey that you want to be on. And, especially when you're starting out, you can ask any new or old creator that you think is highly skilled, and they'll tell you that when they were starting out, they always messed up. And they probably still mess up a lot too. They're just better at fixing it now. So, life's like, I feel like mm, nowadays we're kind of given an image of things and everything looks perfect right off the bat. So it's good to know that it takes time to get somewhere. I think that should be right there. Sometimes the Lego orientation of things is a little hard to figure out. You know, there's also non Lego building sets, but if you feel the quality of a Lego building set, it's you. I mean, it's much better. So some of the, I've never like I've had like a few Mega Bloks things and some other stuff, and sometimes the bricks don't stick together as well. They're like really loose, or they have a lot more defects. Companies harder to get a hold of. So I don't know. That feels like a tangent on the like Lepin or other third party. Some of them are just like straight rip off brands. Like it's one thing to have another building block bra- brand where you make your own stuff like Mega Bloks does. They're another building block thing, kind of like Lego, but Mega Bloks doesn't straight steal Lego stuff, and Lepin does that. They steal Lego designs, and that one's not cool because you may think, well, of course, Legos are really expensive, but you have to consider that Lego has to do research and development. They pay people to design these. And for some of these things, like Star Wars and Harry Potter, they have to pay licensing fees to some company somewhere. And when Lepin steals a set, they don't have to they don't really pay a designer to do any of that. They'll just steal the idea of somebody else and copy it with their bricks, and then they don't pay licensing fees or anything like that. Hmm. I feel like oh, there's the item. So if I'm ever building and I can't find a piece, even though it's like they've separated it into little bags, I'll start sorting the pieces by type. And that way you'll slowly reduce the amount, like the clutter you have in your workspace. And eventually, hopefully, you'll find the piece and it's not a missing piece to the set. Because if it is a missing piece, even though Lego replaces those for free, I mean, I don't like to have to. set my build aside for like a couple weeks while a new piece comes. So this is like the little entry to the fair thing. And here we go. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, I'm guessing the cart is next. There we go. You can kind of see the whole thing. And then they say to build the skeleton, which I already built. Put him here. So it's a nice little set. And I think these set like this only costs about $10. So it's a very achievable entry set, especially if you find something on sale. So that over there. And if you're going to start buying Legos in any amount, I'd highly suggest joining the Lego VIP club. If you're lucky, you have a Lego store near you, and especially for finding a lot of these sets, a lot of smaller sets, a lot of larger sets, you'll have a lot more luck going to a Lego store than you will going online. Just from personal experience, I noticed that Legos the Lego online store tends to be like maybe the last stocked or something. That they send out new sets to Lego stores, and then Lego online probably won't get those. So a lot of times you'll have better luck finding sets just by going to the Lego store. Although sometimes the Lego online will have sets that you won't see at the Lego store. Sometimes you might find some stuff at like Target or something, but it's kind of spiraled out of control. When I was talking about the Lego VIP program. So it's, your standard reward program. You buy sets, you get points that are based on kind of the value of the set, but it seems like an intangible algorithm to understand exactly how many points one set is worth versus the other. So, yeah, I mean, and you, of course, the points go up as the dollar value of the set goes up, but some things can have the same dollar value, but not the same point value. And then once you get a set amount of points, you can redeem it for basically Lego Cash. For some reason, it redeems either for online Lego Cash or in-store Lego Cash, but you can't just do it one for all. But if you mess up, don't worry. You can call into the customer service and they'll refund your points and all something out. Or you just wait like I think 30 days and it'll give you your VIP points back if you don't use the voucher that you redeemed for. And then of course there's another thing you can use it for, which is uh, like they have contests that you can enter with VIP points for exclusive Lego things, or they have like items like for one of the things that they had was like these Reebok shoes. I think you could buy the Reebok shoes too, or maybe it was just through the VIP. I don't know. But those things sold out fast. They required a good amount of VIP points. And I usually use my VIP points for more Legos. It's like, you know, self-fulfilling prophecy of Legos. All right. So this little hay tractor is coming together pretty fast. Right here, here, and then there are some little hacks for the VIP system. At certain times a year, they'll do double VIP points. So this one's kind of like if you can wait to buy sets buy them during the double VIP point sales. But I mean, there are downsides to that in that some sets you just don't know when they'll be in stock, and they're kind of rare, which makes sense because if it's a more expensive set, Lego doesn't want to flood the shelves with them. And like if you flood the shelves with the Lego sets, let's see, this way. Basically, they might not all sell, and Lego would be stuck with them. But there's also, I mean, it's true. I feel like the Lego's creating artificial scarcity for some sets. They kind of feels like they're stoking the secondary market where they'll only release X amount of something and then they want people to buy and scalp that product, it feels like. Although, I don't know. Maybe that's my imagination. And I mean, don't really get to stop scalpers at all because they'll buy and try and scalp things regardless of what you do. For instance, like I've seen in my area, there's actually two nearby Lego stores. I'll see an item go on sale, and then all of a sudden somebody's trying to sell that same set for a lot more of its value. And then the weird thing is, a lot of times they'll have it like on a local marketplace for Lego stuff, like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, and that item's still available in the Lego store. Like I'll come from the Lego store, look at ads on Craigslist or something, and there's literally like the Ultimate Collector's Edition Millennium Falcon in store for 800, which is, I know, expensive. But then I'll look at the ad on Craigslist and someone's trying to sell it for 1,000. And I'm like, I don't know if people don't know that there's a Lego store or don't know that it's in stock, but why are you trying to sell something for $1,000 that anyone could go to the store, buy it brand new for 800, and if that person goes to the store, they can get VIP points for it. So that's what I wonder sometimes. Oh, and also there's Legoland, California, where you can buy Lego products from. So that one's going to be a bit different. I mean, if you don't live in California or near like San Diego, California, the county of San Diego, Legoland's not really too close to you. But I do happen to know that they just opened up Legoland New York, I think. I know its opening was delayed because of the the whole pandemic thing, but should be open now, I think. And there's a Legoland in Florida. So those Legolands have a Lego store in them, but that Lego store is somehow different than a normal Lego store. I think it's this one. So the Lego store in Legoland is called the Big Shop. And Big Shop has, I mean, a lot of Legos. There's a big Lego store, but you can't use your VIP card there. Well, you can, but you don't earn VIP points and you can't redeem VIP points at the Legoland stores. But they will take your VIP card and give you 5% off of what you buy at the Legoland store. So you should still bring your VIP card to Legoland if you want to buy stuff there. And may seem Like, especially if you have a Lego store, why would you go to the Legoland store where you have to go through like an extra thing where you buy a ticket and then you have to go into Lego, like if you're not going to Legoland, to go to the Legoland big shop, you buy a ticket for the Legoland and then you go in, you have to spend X amount of money at the Lego store and then you can go back out and you can get the refund for your ticket, I think, or at least that's how it used to work. I wonder if they changed it at all, but it was kind of a rigmarole and felt unnecessary. But I mean, it's not completely worthless because there are exclusive items that only show up at the Legoland store, and sometimes there's more stuff at the Legoland store than at nearby shops. Oh no. So piece just fell on the ground. Luckily, it did not go too far, and it was easy to find. But sometimes, especially small pieces, that's an easy way for them to get lost, which is why I want sometime in the future when I have the chance, when I build like a building room for my Legos, I'm going to have I'm gonna get a table and I want one with like lips, like a raised edge around it, and that way I can just if your a piece drops unless you really mess it up, it'll just hit the ledge and stay inside the table area, which now makes me wonder if the best way for like the best background for building and streaming would be something like a brown table or something. Maybe something more interesting. The white table looks very clean, but lighting it is very a little hard. I think, or maybe what I need is because right now I'm using a tripod that's kind of angled. You can kind of see it. How the difference looks weird. So what I need is one of those like overhead clips so my camera can face straight down and the arms kind of out of the way. And then after that, get like a ring light or an LED light that attaches to the camera and get that light will help make like a perfect or better lighting for the table. But then I think I also need like photo paper of some type because right now this is glossy and it reflects light, a lot of light. So by getting something kind of matte finish, it'll make the lighting look more even and professional. Of course, I mean, realistically, I'm not professional at all, so doing these stickers a little hard, but I mean, it's a nice interactive part. I'm surprised a set this small had so many stickers. Usually, small sets barely have any stickers, and then maybe there's a larger set with stickers, and then as the sets get even larger, there will be like no stickers. So there's like medium sets have the most stickers. I think like the larger sets, they just like to they I guess maybe it's like a value thing where they want to give you printed bricks. So the design's printed on there, which some people like, some people don't like. I'm having problems putting this sticker on. Maybe if I attach it here. First, give me more to hold on to. Feel like these stickers are identical. This will never point the same way. These long, thin stickers are always the hardest to do. Mm. Oh, you go. So, looks like I'll have to disappear for a second to find that piece. Oh, lucky it bounced back to my feet. Come on. Almost got it. There we go. Hmm. I think these pieces meant to be same side. Oh, went better that last time. So we put it this way. Sure, this little brick is supposed to be it. Got two more stickers, which is the pain. I mean, it's hard for me, but sure it's harder for anyone who watches this to watch the slow application of stickers. And I'm kind of looking at the picture to see the orientation of stickers, but I feel like that's completely unneeded because these stickers are just like grains of wood and does not affect the quality of the build on which way your grains of wood are showing. So this one, I mean, it seems like it's really fragile, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it's like the fact that my hands are a bit shaky that's creating the problem. So, which handshake is another reason I use this just to help me apply stickers a little bit easier. I don't know why I keep trying to orient this on the wood. You just flip the wood side to side and it's whatever orientation you want. The wood, the piece. All right. Slowly. All right. We're done with that. The last part's going to be pretty easy comparatively. That one. The back. These right there. I think these are supposed to be little pumpkins. I mean, they gave you a really cool jack-o'-lantern that the kids wearing are using, but I guess the other pieces have to be kind of cheap. Then we assemble the wheels. Hmm. Kind of skipped over that step where they put this on. All right, and then predictably enough, this attaches here, and then this guy is obviously driving the tractor ride. So, you know, more extra pieces that you get from every build. And I mean, extra pieces are really small, and I'm not sure how often you'll get to use them, but just stick this here. So, as you can see, this build is pretty small, but it actually has a lot to play with. You're like a kid, or even if you just want to make a scene, you have like the little archway or the hayride. You got the tractor and the hayride. It has 3 minifigures. For $10, that's a great value. And I mean, I guess it feels kind of crazy, but minifigures are expensive. So you get 3 minifigures, a whole thing, all for $10, which to me is a good deal. Have her whole here because she doesn't really stand up well. Like they have her in the pictures doing it. Maybe if I raise that, it's even worse now. And then normally with a adult minifig, if they were top heavy or if they wanted to fall forward or backwards, you could bend their legs. But the kid minifigs do not bend. I'm just going to set her right there. We're going to set them aside. That's it for, I'm just going to call it the Haunted Hayride, even though it doesn't have a name. That's it for set 40423. And one of the reasons why I say the set names all the time is just in case people want to track down the set and buy it, or if a frustration I had often was trying to find information for a set that I'm building. Sometimes I'm wonder like, oh, what should happen during this step, and what should happen? Like, am I missing a box? Is this orientation right? And so I kind of hope by finding or like by doing some of these videos, maybe somebody, if they need like example of how to do their set and they're having a problem, they see somebody else do it and that might help them. Or maybe they're just interested in building a set and want to watch a video. So I think I'll also take all these videos and put them on YouTube, and I might try and speed them up though. Although there's a lot of commentary on it, and you can speed up YouTube videos on your own, and of course you can like jump through them. So I might do further editing, or at least they're on like a bigger set. Once I get to the sets that aren't built in like 30 minutes or so, I'm gonna take time and I'll add like bookmarks and stuff for YouTube. Anyway, the next set is this little Southeast Asian taxi. You may have seen them in a lot of movies, or if you're from a country with little taxis like this, you may have seen something similar. Somehow I doubt it'll be quite as colorful as this, but I don't know. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten to travel as much as some other people. I was going to go to Vietnam last year, but didn't get that chance, of course. Maybe this year or next year. once everything has kind of gotten a chance to open back up. Good luck. So anyway, this set's number 40469, and it's called Tuk Tuk. They may have a different name depending on the country that you visit. This set has no stickers, and it has no minifigures. It's really nice that culturally Lego has started to kind of expand what they're doing and include sets from other cultures that aren't just like European or American stuff. One of the nice ones is the New Year sets, which I have to buy this year. I missed last year. I just started collecting. Didn't really realize that they just stopped producing the New Year set, like they produce a new one each time. So this one's from Creator. And Creator sets are a bit more adventurous sometimes. Let's see. They have like your little ad for all the ones. I have a few Creator sets or idea sets, and they're always very interesting. So let's see. Let's get to it. Let me mute phone. It keeps making noise. All right. Sorry about that interruption. Okay. Something tells me this set won't be quite as playable as the other one, but it will be a little bit more complex of build. So we have this piece, which I think is one of Lego's things now. They're trying to diversify the age range. Legos has always said like from ages like 4 to 99 or something. Or that used to be their thing, and now they have like recommended ages. Like this one is 7 plus, and some of the sets go all the way up to like 18 plus, which is like it's not that it's inappropriate. It's just that the difficulty of it gets harder, and not just the difficulty, like maybe the target audience, like when they had the piano. The piano doesn't have too much that a smaller kid might be interested in playing. Although I did like that the piano it could play music, kinda. So it has like a little box and it'll twink through stuff and then your phone plays the music. But if you turn on the Bluetooth and you can hit the keys and it'll start playing the song. Although the keys don't matter in that case because the song will just play the same notes regardless after you select it. But it is a fun little thing and one of the more interesting builds that they've done. And I know Lego recently released a typewriter from that same like idea, which I haven't yet to see in person, but I want to get that one too because it looks very sleek. I can add it to my collection. Although the collection is like a large part of my house now. I've actually been considering getting a bigger place so we can have a room just for Legos. Still can't find the piece that I'm looking for. But Here, as I said before, having trouble finding the piece, so just gather pieces that look alike and move them into their own groupings, and that will help you find pieces that you can't find when they're all in a mess. So the piece I'm looking for is like this little thing. Oh, there it is. And then the reason I do the grouping instead of just continuously look through it is sometimes you just miss items like over and over again. And once you've done groupings, those grouped items will be easier to find in the future. So following steps will get faster and easier. No. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. There we go. Piece, piece, and little wheel piece. So for most people, this obviously won't be their first introduction to Legos. Like if you're watching anybody agonizingly slowly build through Lego sets on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, you probably already have Legos or had a good interest in Legos for this. But if somehow you stumbled upon this, I mean, you never built a Lego set before, just know that even though it looks pretty complex, it can be pretty easy once you get used to reading the diagrams that they provide. So, I mean, this is and reading the diagrams is probably the biggest hurdle that most people will face. And I mean, I think a lot of Legos have a reputation for being kind of boys only, but I think that does a disservice because I've known a lot of girls and everything that like to play with Legos, and they even have Legos kind of targeted at girls. But I feel like I don't know if it's a true stereotype, but it feels like sometimes they kind of dumb down the sets they give for girls, and they don't have like as complex as builds and stuff. Just my just what I see. And then I mean, but the sets will still look cool, and sometimes they have really good product tie-ins. But I don't think there's any reason. I feel like it's kind of setting up girls for more of a hard time in the future if they wanted to be an engineer or anything like that, because their sets won't be as hard to build. But I mean, there's no reason why if you're a boy or a girl, or if you have sons or daughters, that you have to limit yourself to getting any one set. So it'd just be nice if like the princess set was the same complexity of build as the like Spider-Man set. That's just kind of like a vague one. Like the current set that's targeted at girls would be the Friends set, and I noticed that they use a lot of bigger pieces in those ones instead of like little pieces to connect everything together. But on the flip side, even though those sets are less complicated, they also have sometimes a much higher playability. So you can do a lot more with those sets. Like if you want to set up a play than a lot of these sets that are targeted towards boys. So, I mean, that's a benefit, right? Especially if you have a kid, because I mean, I'm talking all this stuff about complexity and how it might help you build a skill. Let's face it, most people aren't going to be engineers, and the thing a kid wants the most is to play with something. I mean, maybe there's a few kids that just love to build things. And of course, I actually think that must have gone up a lot because now you have Minecraft as like one of the most popular games that's ever existed, somehow still over the past, like, I don't know, it's built a following over like 10 years, maybe more than 10 years. Minecraft is kind of old, and yet people still love it. So kids like to build stuff. Just got to give them all the credit that they're due. That looks about right. Red. There is a lot of little details going into this one. Hmm, like, hmm, I don't know. Oh, there. You know what I notice when looking at the screen is that the details when watching somebody build still pretty far off. Like, as I'm trying to capture as best as possible, but like, so I have a non. This is like a little bit aside from Legos, but when you have a camera that's not like just a normal camera, you have to, or well, I guess this would be a normal camera. Have a mirrorless camera, you can have a camera with a mirror. That part's really unimportant. When you have a camera that has like different lenses, you can have like a prime lens that's set to just one length, like one level of zoom, I guess you could call it, although they call it focal length. But basically, like the bigger focal length, like if you have an 85 and you set it at one place, it'll be more zoomed in on an image than if you have like a 22. And then they also have lenses with variable lengths. So, but the problem with the variable lengths, if they have a smaller aperture or a bigger aperture, I mean, the way you describe it can get a little weird if you don't understand cameras. Basically, a variable length, a variable zoom lens is what they call them, instead of a prime lens, has kind of a doesn't let it in as much light, which in some things doesn't really matter. Like if you're outside, the amount of light you let in doesn't matter. But when you're inside trying to film stuff, the light can matter a lot. Like if I turn down my aperture right now, it's all the way open at 2. This is just at 4, and it looks much darker. So the pr- so anyway, the problem with that is that I have to set up my camera space beforehand, and if I set up my prime lens, because the setup I have, it has to be kind of far away, and even if I'm building something relatively small, it kind of absorbs like this whole area. I think I need a better thing for filming above myself. I saw one on sale on Prime Day, which was like an adjustable arm tripod, and I didn't get it, and it was only like $25. I should have bought it. I didn't know. If I had started this just like a day or two ago, I would have gotten it because that would allow me to move this my camera much closer with greater ease. Setting up with a normal tripod's really hard, at least when I'm trying to face down. If it was just like facing forward towards me, that would be an easy one. The tripod would be, of course, worked perfect because that's what tripods are for. Next time, you live, you learn. So now you know if you ever decide to go into your own video where you're facing down, this type of a normal type of tripod isn't what you want to get. Hmm. That gap in between there. Which item did I skip the entire piece? Yeah, right here. Two. Hmm. Two piece. One. See. Easy. Ooh, these. Lucky. Although today I brought the brick separator. Yeah, that's pretty small. I'll look online for the item that I saw before. Maybe in a video or two after it's come, you guys can see the difference that it makes. Mm, wait, already put that one on. Put this here. This here. One. Hmm. I feel like I missed a step again because I see a little green thing. Yep. Step. Completely missed this step. Wow. Need to pay a little bit more attention to what is happening. Lego my shoe. 4. Close the door. Hey. Oh. Look over. And, well, there's a lot of bots. Who would have known? Apparently, you can buy followers, but what's the point of buying followers or views for that matter? Like, like if you buy followers or views, it doesn't really attract people to your channel. Maybe it does when you say, "Oh, I got a bunch of followers." People say, "Why are other people following that?" Maybe you get on the trending page or something. But in general, I don't think it'll really help your analytics at all because Twitch and other streaming services, they've grown wise to all that fake follower stuff. and they have ways of helping to root it out to look only for the real viewers, and so they won't boost channels that have like bot followers like that. They can't hear. That is this all silent? That would be bad. Uh, work on that. Let's see. Let me do a mic check. Sound check. No. Okay, I can hear. So whoever had that was a problem on their end, not mine. Okay. Moving back to building. It's just a small delay. Put this on. All right. Getting close now. Almost finished. And then sometimes you have sets like this with no minifigures. Maybe you're kind of lucky or not lucky, but maybe you already have a bunch of minifigures of your own to help liven the setup, like put in a driver, or you can put this on the street if you have like maybe the modular buildings, or maybe it will fit better in one of the New Year sets. So then I'm noticing a lot of times that I was building maybe outside of the view, so I'll need to work on that in the future. It'd be nice if I had my viewfinder right in front of me instead of off to the side. These are all reasons why I started out with all these small sets so I can work on stuff that I may not have noticed. And then I'm told that even big creators, they make mistakes like doing a whole video and accidentally forgetting to record it, which would be really painful depending on the length of the video, or if you were doing some type of unboxing thing where kind of like this Lego build, if I had not been recording this or anything, it would take I'd have to disassemble the whole thing and redo it. It's never really going to be the same as when I did it the first time, right? Because then you wouldn't get to see me open up any bags in sequence or all that. I'd just be like, oops, forgot to record. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I can see right now a lot of this at the very edge of the screen. It's kind of far away. Hard to focus on that. Hmm. I will look for a solution. There's only so many solutions you can do, right? But you gotta try. Funny thing is, I was just earlier, I was thinking about getting a wider angle lens. But I feel like, I don't know, I guess depending on what I'm building, this angle length is kind of what's needed, right? So I just need, I guess it's so variable. That's how life is. Need to have great flexibility to get things done. That one's kind of hard to pick up the colors. Hmm. What I'm thinking is it'd be nicer for anyone watching if this booklet was always in view. That way you could see what step I'm on. Yeah. So I'm going to do that from now on, even though that's basically the end of this one. Do that in the future. So it won't feel like, at least to me, that so many things are out of feels like I have like a large amount of extra space, especially since maybe I should be working right here. That's like the center of my image, you know. And even though kind of figuring this all out right now as we go, um, yeah, even though I'm figuring it out right now as we go, we can it'll make future videos better. And then who knows? Maybe by then someone might even be watching it. Like if you watch it, I don't know if people can, as they watch it in the future, see who's watching or how many people are watching. They can tell you that no one's actually watching right now. It says one viewer, but that's just me because I like to look at how the stream looks to everybody, not just myself. The Amazon person here? Let me see. My package still isn't here. Oh well. Okay. Here we got the decorations coming. So we got 6 of those, 4 of the reds, 2 of these little hanging things. That one there. There we go. Orange, red, orange, orange, tassel, red. Identical for the same other side. Then of course put this on. Tassels near the back. We have pools. Make up the superstructure. See this little bump right here. Hard to see. It's not focusing well. There you go. Autofocus should follow my hand a little. So if you get that little bump in the connection, just above the connection. Hmm. Something feels wrong. Feels like these should be even. They're not. Let me just check the description. Did go just above that. Black piece, dark green, red. Yeah, likely just have to in black piece. Okay. Okay. Set this one a little higher, then it connects with the roof like the other one does. Okay. The more, I don't know what you'd call it, but there's a lot of decoration on this. Very colorful set. Kind of been breaking my own rule about gathering all the pieces at once. Want to build these little wheels, not like the this one goes in front. The hard one to put in. Front wheel. Not want to go in on this little thing. But there are more steps. It's rolling. Let's see. This looks the last little piece. Is it like a roof rack? I refuse to look at the box picture to find out. It probably could have been all one step with these little circular pieces. It's like a little roof thing. It's supposed to represent something. I'm not familiar with it, what it represents. It goes sideways like this. It's pretty cool. There's the tuk-tuk. I think that will be it for me. I also just kind of realized that I think I was supposed to leave this one for my fiance, so maybe in trouble that I built it. Oh well. If no one sees me again, you guys know what happened. Everybody have a good day and keep building.